Happy Independence Day.
Same to you, sir.
Okay. So we have to start with the need of database, why you require the database, and how it is impact to your life. See that in every organization, in a smaller organization to higher organization, every time, every person store their information in a some format. In a normal shop, they store the information in a pen and paper. Okay, so they note it down in a diary. In a big organization, they store the information uh, in a specified format, like somebody is using a Excel format. If like it is a higher industry, like Reliance industry or any bigger industry, they are using a database. So for every person, information is required. It is play the important role in our life. When you apply a job, then in that part also they are asking for your information, like you are giving your name, your marks, your grade. So based upon that information, they selecting you for an interview, and for this data only we can analyze the future of the organization. Like in every year on the 31st March, the financial year is end. So on that day, every company evaluate their performance based upon the previous data, whether they are grown up or not. So everything is over in the world, but data is not over. Now what happened, like here the COVID situation is going on. Now some organization or some ICMR, WHO, so they are expecting what is the peak period. So they expecting based upon the current data, when it is over, when the vaccine will come. So it is all our prediction. It may not be what will give you the accurate result, but it is giving you the tentative idea. When you go ahead, what is your course of action. So database is an integral part of an organization. Aspiring the database developer should able to be efficiently design and implement the database. So it is not like that when I giving you tags that you have to create a database for a student, then you are not directly store the information. For storing a information, you require a storage location where you have to store. Suppose you are going to the market for purchase the vegetable, then in that part you have to take a bag for storing the vegetable. So if the container is not there, it is very difficult to keep your information or get your information. The knowledge of this module, it is helping you how to develop a database. In this module, we will understand the relational database concept. So now we move to the next. So what is database? So before going to the about what is data, the first of all you have to know about what is database. Database is a collection of logical related data. Suppose if I giving you tags to store the information for a student, then you store the information like student roll number, student mark, student address, student contact number, salary. Salary is not irrelevant, okay, because it is not logical related to the student. If you want to store the student information, then you that information may be related to the student. So database is a collection of logical related data. Data means it knows the facts. It means what? Suppose if I am giving you a tax that you are going to the market and purchase the vegetable, so you are asking what is the kg or rate for the kg. But we are not asking that what is the rate of the 1 liter of potatoes. So it is not relevant. When there is a rain, the rain is calculated in the form of millimeter. So we're not calculating how many drops are falling in the particular place. So data means it knows the fact and which is meaningful, and that should be recorded. It not be like unrelated data. We're calculating the wind speed not in the form of a kg, not in the form of a liter. We calculate in the kilometer per hour. So these are the different units we are using for representing our information. So when you store the data, which means knows the fact. If it is then you can know that it is the unit of your rain. If it is a kilometer per hour, then it is a unit of your wind speed. So it is the different units we are using for the database. For example, the data that you store in the form of name, address, telephone number. So where you have to store this information? You store this information in your address book, or you can store this information in a computer in the form of a Word file, in the form of a Excel file, which is stored in a computer hard disk. So it is a storage medium where you store your information. Then what is database management system? For storing the information is not a bigger part. Anybody can store the information. Suppose you have a notes, physics notes, chemistry notes, like C++ notes. The different notes are there. So if any friend is asking for your friend that you have to give me the C program and C++ program note, where you search? You are searching from your study room. So from your study room, you get these notes. When anybody is asking for a sugar, you are not searching the sugar in your study room or bedroom. You are going to the kitchen. So when you store the information, your information should be stored in a particular place. So main reason is what? For storing the information in a particular place, a reason behind it, that if anybody is asking for the information at the right time, you deliver your information. If you go back 10 years and if there is a problem in your like account balance of your mobile phone, you are calling to the customer care. The customer care put you in a hold mode and telling that after 5 minutes or please put on hold, I will give the solution. So we are waiting for the information. But now what happened? If you want to get any kind of information, there is no requirement to go for and calling to the customer care. If you have a Jio mobile phone, you have a Jio mobile app. Through the app, you can get the information, your recharge date, remaining data balance, when you have to, what is the units is available for the other calls. So you can get the information because you are easily get this information the right time. Okay, we're not waiting for the information. Information waiting, if you are waiting for the information, it is not a what good database design. तो डेटा को जब आप स्टोर करते हो, इट इज अ बिगर पार्ट दैट एट द राइट टाइम आपको इंफॉर्मेशन को मिलना चाहिए. अगर आपको राइट टाइम में इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिलेगा, इट इज नॉट ए गुड डेटाबेस. तो डीबीएमएस इज ए सॉफ्टवेयर, इट इज हेल्पिंग यू टू डू दैट टास्क. मतलब आप आराम से डाटा इंसर्ट कर सकते हो, जब चाहे अपडेट कर सकते हो विदाउट एनी कंज्यूमिंग ऑफ टाइमिंग. So what is that management involves? It defines the structure of data storage. Normally, अगर मैं आपको एक टैक्स दूंगा that you have to store the information for a roll number, for a mark and address. ये तीनों information आप कहाँ पर store कर सकते हो? You can store in a Word file. You can store in a Excel file. The difference between Word and Excel is what? अगर आप Word में store कर रहे हो, so you are writing the in a line by line basis. It is not defining you any kind of structure. But when you going to the Excel में क्या है? Row and column format में. तो आपको easily वो segregate कर देगा. Student ID एक column में, नेम एक कॉलम में और एड्रेस एक कॉलम में। तो आपको वैल्यू को सर्च करने के लिए और स्ट्रक्चर वाइज देखने के लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा। तो DBMS is providing you that kind of structure through which you can easily store your information. It providing a method for data manipulation, such as you can add the data, you can edit the data, and you can delete the data easily. Like in your mobile phone also, when you store a contact number, you can add the contact number, आप नंबर भी अपडेट कर सकते हो और आप डिलीट भी कर सकते हो। और इतना फ्लेक्सिबल वे में आप अगर किसी भी ऑप्शन में चूज करो, आराम से आप ये सारी चीज कर सकते हो। तो DBMS is providing you that kind of information. प्रीवियस में क्या होता था ना, you are not having flexibility to update, adding और deleting your information. मतलब आप खुद आपका इंफॉर्मेशन को अपडेट नहीं कर सकते, यू आर डिपेंडिंग टू सम अदर पर्सन। बट नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड, वी इजीली डू दैट थिंग, प्रोवाइडिंग डेटा सिक्योरिटी अगेंस्ट अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस। तो मैंने डेटा भी स्टोर कर लिया, सब चीज हो गया, बट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट क्या है, एनीबडी कैन हैक माय डेटा। तो यू आर गिविंग such kind of security by using of DBMS that without your permission or the other person cannot hack or get your information. कोई भी आपका डाटा हैक नहीं कर सकता है और आपका परमिशन के बिना कुछ भी मॉडिफिकेशन नहीं कर सकता है। It's just like you are giving your login ID password in a Facebook, in a Twitter and in your Gmail. So when you are open the Facebook, you are the authentic person that you can do any kind of modification. आप उसको खुद ही आप अपडेट कर सकते हो, खुद ही डिलीट कर सकते हो, तो अदर पर्सन आप नहीं कर सकता है। नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट, like if anybody if you are uploading a photo and you don't want to share that photo to a particular person, you can hide it, you can giving a security for it. You can share your information only between your friend, you can also do that. So these are the security you can provide by using of DBMS, so that when you are creating a database or you want to learn a database, it is not important that only for store the information. The very important part is what, that you have to giving a security to your information, that no third party can hack or modify your information. The main objective of DBMS are, it provide the efficient and easy way to store and update, retrieve the data from the database. तो मन में क्वेश्चन होगा, मैं तो इंफॉर्मेशन ऐसा ही स्टोर कर सकता हूँ, देन DBMS क्यों यूज करूँ? DBMS आपको कुछ मेथड, कुछ रूल और कुछ फॉर्मूला आपको प्रोवाइड करेगा, जिसके मदद से आप इजीली वो इंफॉर्मेशन को मतलब इमीडिएट टाइम में यू कैन गेट दैट इंफॉर्मेशन। आप जल्दी जल्दी वो इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिल जाएगा एट द राइट टाइम, मीन्स यू आर नॉट ए वेटिंग कस्टमर फॉर गेटिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन। And most important thing is what, manage the information about the user who interact with the DBMS. मतलब आपके पास एक ओपन डेटाबेस है, सपोज आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम कर रहे हो, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक डेटाबेस में 5 से 7 लोग काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन कौन सा यूजर क्या काम किस समय पर किया, वो सब इंफॉर्मेशन वो ट्रैक हो जाता है। तो अगर एक DBMS और डेटाबेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर चाहेगा, वो सारा यूजर को देख सकता है वो क्या क्या अपडेशन किया है और क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन को चेंजेस किया है। तो यू कैन गिव ए सिक्योरिटी ओवर देयर, मींस यू हैव द कंट्रोल टू द यूजर। तो एज ए डेटाबेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर यू हैव कंट्रोलर, यू हैव ऑल काइंड ऑफ कंट्रोल एंड सिक्योरिटी टू द यूजर। यूजर क्या क्या अपडेशन कर रहा है, क्या डिलीट कर रहा है, तो यू कैन गेट इट। समटाइम्स हैपन दैट आप क्या करते हो, व्हाट्सएप में कुछ मैसेज डिलीट हो जाता है। तो रिसेंटली क्या हुआ, अभी जो यू आर हैविंग ए केस लाइक सुशांत सिंह, रिया चक्रवर्ती केसेस आर देयर। तो रिया इज what deleted the messages from the WhatsApp, but what happened, the police is recover that WhatsApp message. How it is possible? Because there is a DBA is present. So DBA can know that which user can do which type of thing. तो आप अगर डिलीट भी कर देते हो, इट इज नॉट डिलीटेड फ्रॉम द मेन डेटाबेस, क्योंकि डीबीए के पास और एक बैकअप फोल्डर रहता है, वहां पर वो इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर होता है फॉर द पर्टिकुलर टाइमिंग। ओके, सपोज 1 ईयर 2 ईयर जितना भी बैकअप चाहिए वो रख सकता है। तो जहां पर सिक्योरिटी की और इन्वेस्टिगेशन का जरूरत होगा, तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन अथॉरिटी विल गेट दैट इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम द डीबीए। तो डीबीए में एक काम सब हो सकता है, मतलब यू कैनॉट सेंड एनी इनसिक्योरिटी डेटा थ्रू द messages or through the WhatsApp, because DBA is there to retrieve all your information. Now let us understand the working of DBMS. So when a user system wants to extract the information from the database, then in that cases what happen, you want to extract the data from the database, but before going to the database you move through the DBMS. The DBMS will check that which person is requesting data, that you are the authenticated user or not. If you are a authenticated user, then it will retrieve the information from the database. अगर आप authentication user नहीं हो तो यहाँ पर आपको deny कर देता है। तो फिर यहाँ पर चेक करेगा what information you want to get. तो database में use information रहता है, so it will having a employee data, it will just having a department information, but which information you want? Suppose I want the employee information, so it is only retrieve that employee information and display in the user system. So it is the process of extracting the information from the database. And next is what is data model? Means how you represent your information. What is that model? Like when you are just using e-shopping cart, or you are using what some kind of online shopping site to purchase some kind of item, like mobile phone frequently were used, some kind of funky dress that were purchased. So when you purchase, so it is display that icon, or like Vivo mobile, or Oppo mobile, or Redmi mobile. So you click on that image, so it is displayed. And next is what, when you are going to any dress shop, so they are having some kind of display dress item. Okay. And when you are going to the mobile shop, they are having some kind of dummy mobile in their showcase. So when you see that dummy mobile, it give you the appearance of the actual mobile. It is not actual mobile, but it seems to be an actual mobile. Because if every person is use the actual mobile, there may be a tamper. So the person is not able to sell that particular product. So every shop is having a dummy copy. So if that dummy is good, and if you see that as my mobile is look like this, and these are the features are there, then you purchase the original one. When you purchase the original one, every time the seller is asking you, will I scratch this seal? Are you purchase it? So after confirmation is just open the seal and display the mobile. The data model is like that. Suppose if you represent your organization, if you represent your information, then you have to represent the model how you store your information. Before you are going to build a building, आप अगर कोई भी बिल्डिंग आप बनाना जाते हो, तो that doesn't mean आप पहले से आकर वो बना दिया, यहाँ से बना दिया, अभी मेरा मन नहीं हुआ यहाँ पर मेरा बेडरूम रहेगा, फिर बीच में उसको तोड़कर फिर दूसरा जगह में रख दूंगा, तो इट इज नॉट हैपन। तो कोई भी ब्रिज, कोई भी बिल्डिंग ये सब बनाने से पहले, so they will prepare a map. So from that map they design the building, they design the bridge. Similar way, when you represent your information, you have to create a data model. आपको data model बनाने की जरूरत है, so that you represent your information in the different part. So what are the data models are available? A data model is a description of data in the database. Data model broadly classified into the two categories. One is object-based logical model, Another is your record based logical model. Object based logical model is focuses on describing the data, a relationship among the data, and any constant defined. Focuses on the describing on the data, so what information you have stored and the relationship of data. अब कौन सा डेटा आप स्टोर कर रहे हो, स्टूडेंट आईडी, रोल नंबर, तो रोल नंबर का नंबर क्या होना चाहिए, एक न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू होना चाहिए, स्टूडेंट नेम कैरेक्टर होना चाहिए, और रिलेशनशिप क्या है, जब मैं रोल नंबर मारूंगा तो मेरा सारा चीज मार्क का आ जाता है. अभी कुछ रिजल्ट पब्लिश हुआ एचएससी का, सीएचएससी का, so student are given their number, then they are getting a mark. So there is a kind of relationship, रोल नंबर और मार्क के साथ रिलेटेड है. तो आप अगर क्लिक करते हो रोल नंबर में, वो आपको मार्क रिट्राइव कर देता है. And it also find out a relationship among the data and any constant defined. Constant means that is a rule. It will check the consistent correctness of data. Suppose मैंने एक स्टूडेंट नेम कॉलम डिफाइन किया, कांस्टेंट इंश्योर करेगा स्टूडेंट नेम में ही नेम स्टोर होगा, स्टूडेंट नेम में कोई न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू स्टोर नहीं होगा. इट इज नॉट ए अल्फा न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू. तो किसी भी पर्सन का नाम अल्फा न्यूमेरिक नहीं होता है. तो इसलिए वो क्या होता है, जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है वो इंश्योर करेगा जो कॉलम और जो स्ट्रक्चर आप डिफाइन किए हो वही स्ट्रक्चर में आपका इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर हो रहा है कि नहीं. उसके बाद है आपका record based logical model. It focuses on specifying the logical structuring of the database. Logical structure means before you build a design, तो you have a logic, you have a mind. तो मेरा घर ऐसा होना चाहिए, मेरा बेडरूम इतना साइज होना चाहिए. So you have to record it. You have a logic, you have to record it. So that is called as a record based logical model. जैसे कि प्रोग्राम डेवलपमेंट होता है कहीं पर, तो पहले उसका लॉजिक निकाला जाता है, क्या क्या स्टोर होगा, कहाँ पर वैल्यू स्टोर होगा, वो लॉजिक आपको चाहिए. सपोज मैंने आपको बोल दिया दैट यू हैव टू परचेज 30 kg ऑफ पोटैटो, देन यू हैव टू थिंक ऑफ दैट 1 kg. हाँ, तो आइदर यू हैव टू टेक दिस पोटैटो इन ए पॉलिथीन और यू हैव टू टेक द बैग फ्रॉम योर होम. 30 kg हाउ यू बॉट, so how you bring from the market. So you have to think, you have to take a some kind of bigger bag or some so you the structure, okay, it is not like that you have to take the 30 kg potato in a small bag. So there is a question comes to your mind, or thought comes to your mind, how you have to bring that potato. Okay, जो पूरा पोटैटो का जो अगर मैं बोलूंगा 30 kg मतलब एक बस्ता आपको लेना पड़ेगा. तो बस्ता नहीं चाहिए तो आपको एक तो 30 kg है, वो बैग में जगह नहीं होगा, आपका गाड़ी डिक्की में जगह नहीं होगा, तो आपको एक बस्ता चाहिए. तो यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट द लॉजिक बिहाइंड. तो record based logical model is like that. So it giving you the logic how you have to store your information. आपका डेटाबेस का स्ट्रक्चर क्या है और आप कैसे इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर करोगे. So let us understand the object-based logical model. In object-based logical model, ER model is there. ER is called as the entity relationship model. हम जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर कर रहे हैं, तो डेटा इज अ रियलिस्टिक डेटा, मतलब we can feel the data, we can touch it, we visualize it. Okay, एक तीनों में एक चीज होगा. आप विंड स्पीड आप क्या कैलकुलेट करके स्टोर करोगे, तो विंड को तो हम देख नहीं सकते हैं, बट देयर इज अ फीलिंग इज देयर. ओके, देन एनी अदर मटेरियल दैट यू कैन टच इट, यू कैन फील इट, यू कैन डिस्क्राइब इट. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द एंटिटी. एंटिटी मींस फॉर whom you are storing the information is called as the entity. You are also entity, I am also entity. When I am storing my name, so that is what my attribute, my name is attribute, my contact number is attribute. So these are called as the attribute. So entity relationship diagram, it view the real world as a collection of object or entity and relationship among them. So when you represent entity relationship diagram, it has a corresponding diagram technique. Like see that here it is a just structure. Means what happened, आपको डेटाबेस बनाने से पहले इस तरह से आपको डेटा को रिप्रेजेंट करना है. तो डेवलपिंग सेक्टर में इस तरह से ग्राफिकली आपको रिप्रेजेंट करना पड़ता है. तो आप अगर आपको क्या होता है कि जो सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने के लिए दिया जाएगा तो पहले आपको एक असाइनमेंट दिया जाएगा दैट यू हैव टू एनालाइज द कस्टमर रिक्वायरमेंट। आप कस्टमर रिक्वायरमेंट को एनालाइज करके इस तरह से ग्राफिकली आपको शो करना पड़ेगा। Okay, so here in the ER diagram, the course and semester is called the entity. जो rectangle box में represent हो रहा है, that is called the entity. These are called the attribute. Means what are the information you are storing. Suppose I am an entity, मेरा क्या information store हो सकता है, मेरा name store हो सकता है, मेरा contact number store हो सकता है, तो that is called as the attribute. What are the information you are storing, that is called the attribute. तो यहाँ पर जो होता है इट इज कॉल्ड द रिलेशनशिप। लाइक मैंने जब रोल नंबर को कॉल किया ऑटोमेटिक मेरा मार्क्स आ गया। तो यहाँ पर क्या है, दो टेबल 1 to 1 वो क्या है ना रिलेटेड है। तो स्टूडेंट का एक पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन, स्टूडेंट का एकेडमिक इंफॉर्मेशन, मतलब ये दोनों इंफॉर्मेशन स्टूडेंट टेबल में रहता है। तो स्टूडेंट पर्सनल एंड एकेडमिक इज लिंक्ड अप विथ ईच अदर। So just I have discussed about entity. Entity is any object. ये कोई भी object हो सकता है जो tangible है. It may be any person like you and me. It may be a place about whom or about which the data is recorded. तो जिसके लिए आप data store करते हो, that is called the entity. It can be categorized as entity type and entity instance. So in the ER model diagram technique, entity are named and represent inside a box. तो अगर आपको entity represent करना है graphically, तो आपको एक box में आपको represent करना है, like a student, course and grade. So it is a basic part. ऐसा नहीं है आपको if you want to become a database developer or DBA, तो ऐसा नहीं होता है that you have to go and directly write the query. आपको table बना दो, डाटा को लेकर स्टोर करा दो, तो दैट इज ए नॉट ए पार्ट। मेन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज एनालिसिस। आप एक बार अच्छी तरह से एनालाइज कर देते हो क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, तो आपको डेटाबेस को बार बार चेंजेस नहीं करना पड़ेगा। अगर डेटाबेस को बार बार चेंजेस करना पड़ता है देन इट इज नॉट ए गुड डेटाबेस, मतलब आपको बार बार कोडिंग चेंज करना पड़ेगा, तो इट इज ए हेवी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग प्रोसेस और एफिशिएंसी भी, और आपका डेटा भी लॉस होता है। So in a ER model diagram technique, entity are represented inside a box. So it is represented inside a box. Entity can be of following type. One is dependent entity, another is independent entity. Dependent entity is what? One entity depends upon another entity for its existence. Like when a student is registered in a college, first I am storing your personal information or your up to plus 2 information. So after you are entered to the engineering college, you go through a semester mark. Then you have a semester 1 mark, semester 2 mark, internal marks. So your semester 1, 2 and internal mark is dependent upon your base table, that is called the personal table. अगर स्टूडेंट रजिस्टर नहीं होगा तो ये मार्क कहाँ से आए? स्टूडेंट है तो मार्क आपका है। तो हियर student personal information, so your student academic information is depend upon the student personal information. The student academic is called as the dependent, student personal information is called as the independent entity. The dependent entity depends on another entity for its existence, is also called as the weak entity. Independent entity, it doesn't depend on any other entity for its existence, is also called as the regular entity. Like here, your course is dependent upon the offering. So which entity is dependent upon the another entity, that entity is represented in the double rectangle symbol. जो dependent entity है, तो आपको जो symbolically अगर आपको represent करना है, तो you have to pass in a double rectangle symbol, offering. तो यहाँ पर जो ऑफरिंग है यहाँ पर रिप्रेजेंट किया गया। इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट एंड हियर ऑफरिंग इज डिपेंडेंट एंटिटी। देन चेन define the relationship as the association among the entity. So chain is a scientist, so he is defined What is relationship? A relationship is a association among the entity, like uh, truck owner association, bus owner association. So these are the association among the entity. So what is the common factor is present between the two entity? So they are related to each other. Like when you are in the college, your school college name is different, roll number is different, but there is a common factor that is called as your college name. So you are belongs to some same college name or same branch. So that is a relationship is present. So chain is a scientist is defined an association among the entity. जब क्या होता है आपका पेट्रोल डीजल का रेट बढ़ता है तो बस ओनर इज गिविंग ए स्ट्राइक, so other owner is not giving a strike. मतलब doctor are not giving a strike if the petrol and diesel is increasing. So when anything is happened to the doctor part, they are giving what? They are go for a strike. But जो driver, जो truck owner association वो strike में नहीं जाते. So this is called as the association. जिसका जो association है वही कुछ common related thing को लेकर आपको relate किया जाता है एक entity से दूसरा entity को. So it is represented as a teacher teach the student. So here teach is called as the relationship. The following diagram represent the association of entity. A student is giving a seminar in front of a student. So it is called as the association of entity with itself. Okay. So there may be more than one relationship between the entity, like teacher manages the student, teacher teaches the student, teacher evaluates the student. So there may be a more than one relationship between the entity. तो एक दो entity में multiple relationship रह सकता है. A teacher can teach, a teacher can manage, or a teacher can evaluate. So there are three type of relationship is present. One is one to one, one to many, and many to many relationship. One to one is what? One department is headed by one department head. That is a one to one relationship. One department is headed by one department head. Now many to one. Many to one relationship is what? Many students register for one course. So that is a many to one relationship. Okay. So when the many people is purchasing some kind of common item, so that is a many to one relationship. Next relationship is called as the many to many relationship. So many students register for many courses. They are not belongs to the what same courses. Okay. So this is all about your first part. Next comes to the attribute. Attribute is a property of the given entity. The attribute means what? Like for a student, what are the information you are storing? Student के लिए जो जो information आप store कर रहे हो, that is called as the attribute. Like student name, student registration date, student roll number, and address. So these are called as your attributes. Okay, so what are the information you are storing for an entity is called as the attribute. It may be a student name, it may be a roll number, it may be a address, or it may be a contact number. So when you represent the attribute is represented in a ellipsis, and entity is represented in a rectangle box. A manufacturer needs to maintain the following detail about the supplier: name, address, credit status. So for a manufacturer, you represent the information in this way. So for the supplier, Then attribute is code, name, address, and credit status. So in this way, we present our attribute. Then subtype. Subtype is a subset of another entity, is always depend upon the supertype for its existence. The attribute of the supertype apply to all of its subtype. Okay, so it is just like a parent and child relationship, or weak entity and strong entity. Like I am given an example, जैसे कि आप अगर कोई भी कॉलेज में एडमिशन लेते हो तो फर्स्ट योर पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन आर स्टोर्ड, then your academic information are stored. So here your academic is called as the subtype and supertype is your personal. The subtype is a subset of another entity. It is always dependent upon the supertype for its existence. The attribute of a supertype apply to all its of its subtype. तो जो attribute supertype में apply होता है, automatically वही attribute आपका subtype में होगा. एट्रीब्यूट का मतलब क्या है? जो इन्फॉर्मेशन हम स्टोर कर रहे हैं, रोल नंबर, कांटेक्ट नंबर, ये सब है आपका एट्रीब्यूट. तो जो एट्रीब्यूट आप सुपर टाइप में अप्लाई करोगे, दैट इज आल्सो एप्लीकेबल फॉर द सब टाइप. So you represent the super type and subtype. So here if you see that, here course is called as the super type and subtype is a standalone and a semester. So your super type and subtype is joined with a crossbar. A crossbar में आपका स्टोर होगा. Okay, crossbar means it is a super type and standalone and semester is a subtype. So it is related to the what super type. A crossbar में वो join होता है. So you can represent the super type and subtype in this diagram technique. The super type is connected with the relation with a line containing a crossbar. So super type is connecting to a subtype, the line containing a crossbar. Okay, it is all about your first part of your DBMS or demo of the database. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Good day.